Let me tell you about ProHealthConnect.com. It's transforming healthcare payments, providing retailers a seamless process for over-the-counter and healthy benefit programs. By connecting retailers, health plans, and payment processors, ProHealth Connect creates one powerful, unified network. They empower independent grocers and pharmacies to accept health benefit cards without changing how they do business. With over 10,000 locations nationwide, helping more than 1.3 million people access the care and nutrition they need. Go to ProHealthConnect.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And tonight on the Rita Cosby Show, President Trump gearing up for all options, saying that Iran better come to the table, better give up its nuclear development, or he will blow the country to smithereens. That's pretty much a direct quote. So President Trump is not messing around. What do you think is going to happen next? Clearly, now that we know that several U.S. flagships have made it through the Strait of Hormuz, Iran's not happy. In fact, just a few hours ago, a lot of the officials from Iran coming out and saying, oh, this is highly inappropriate. This is an escalation. It's an escalation to have free waterways. This is what they should have done to the beginning. But President Trump saying that he's waiting for them to maybe self-implode. That would be the best thing of all. And that would be a brilliant, brilliant strategy. Telling America, hold on. Yeah, I know gas prices are high. Hold on, because as soon as this is done, they will plummet. And already the market today had a little bit of a up and down. But overall, Wall Street is sticking with President Trump. And he clearly is still pushing for the drill, baby, drill strategy, which certainly helps keeping America flush with oil and gas. So President Trump believing that if he can choke Iran financially, they're losing $435 million or so a day. Well, then maybe they will implode from within. And then the good people of Iran can maybe rise up with the right support financially and, of course, with weapons. And maybe they can take over the regime and take back their country. And President Trump says that could happen soon. Here is what President Trump said just a little bit ago.
But, you know, they have a problem coming up because they have, it's a very explosive situation in a lot of different ways. You know, their oil, when you turn off the oil underground, and the mechanical too, but underground has a tendency in like almost 100% of the cases to literally explode and just destroy everything around it. And you can never get that oil again. In other words, you can get back 30 to 40%, but it can never be like it is right now. It does tremendous damage to the oil system in a country if that happens.
No, Mr. President, last time you were on,
they've run out of areas for storage.
Oh, yeah.
And they say that in 2 weeks, you know, when they talk about time, in 2 weeks they're going to have a natural explosion of their oil that's going to make it impossible for them to really recover from.
By the way, that was great to hear from the president because we never sort of heard an exact timetable. We heard other people saying it would take X amount of time. But it's the first time that I've heard him say in 2 weeks they're going to have a natural explosion. And that sounds like a good way to go, and especially without U.S. boots on the ground. But President Trump also clear, and by the way, that was an interview with Hugh Hewitt there of Salem News. President Trump also saying that I'm not going to rule anything out, that who knows what this regime has up its sleeve. And regardless, I will not rule out anything because the bottom line is they will never have a nuclear weapon.
I will say that one way or the other, we have one thing. They will never have a nuclear weapon.
And now, Mr. President, you've killed a lot of their leaders. Do you think you have to kill the D team as well? Because we're down to the D team or the E team or the X team. I don't even know who's running the country. Do you have to wipe them out?
Well, let's see what happens. I mean, a lot of people aren't really looking for that job. They have. We knocked out their first team. We knocked out their second team. We knocked out half of their third team. A lot of people aren't looking for that job, but I find them to be far superior than the first group. Okay, the first group was totally out of control and was doing the wrong thing for their country. But I think we'll see what happens. The one thing I will say is they talk a lot differently when they're talking to me than they talk when they're talking to the media or the television set. It's a lot different.
Their propaganda is terrible. Now, I was talking to Ambassador Orrin.
They're looking to do a job, and they get on television, they say the exact opposite. Do you remember I was telling you that they want to make a deal, that they're talking, and they denied ever talking to me, and I say, what's going on over here? These guys, so they're pretty good at propaganda, I guess, but they have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft, they have no nothing.
So what do you think? Do you think it's going to take military might? I still think it's going to have to take some sort of military action. And if you listen to a lot of the generals in the last 24, 48 hours, many of them that I've known for years, they're coming out and saying that they believe that at some point it's just a question of when, that maybe we got to go after Carg Island. We got to do a number of these things to expedite the process, just to even have them feel a little bit more pain. Because when you are a zealot, a fanatic, like these leaders are of Iran, they're going to need to have a pounding and some sort of a wake-up call. And maybe all of that happens all at the same time. Maybe you let them implode, and then you take some military strikes and say, do you want another? All right. Do you want another? Do you want another? I'm sorry, I have no sympathy whatsoever for the Iranians. And I actually think it's going to take a lot of pounding. I have no respect for the regime. The people, I want to make sure that they're safe. Obviously, President Trump does too. And you know what? I give him a lot of credit. If you look at the polls, yeah, a lot of people are frustrated in America. They're very frustrated with the price of gas. They're frustrated, still wanting to know some questions about the war. Maybe the messaging could be a little better on that. But President Trump is really clear, saying they will not get a nuclear weapon. And I think Caroline Leavitt at the White House, she's on pregnancy leave, but I think right before she left, she was very clear in articulating the message. Maybe there's some others that need to really make it crystal clear so the people understand this is not tiddlywinks. I mean, who are these people that are like, oh, well, I'm not sure if the American public support this or if it's a good idea. Oh, I guess you want to have Iran have a nuclear weapon? Have you truly lost your mind? You see what they're saying and what they're doing. Even today, with all these ships out there from the U.S. military and 15,000 new military men and women out there, they're still sending these 6 little mosquito boats. Luckily, the U.S. military took them out. But that's how nutty they are. It's like a David and Goliath, but they don't care. But sometimes, the smaller guy wins. Sometimes it's the good guy. In this case, it's not. But you know what? You can't take that chance. And that's why so many ships still don't want to go through the Strait of Hormuz. And that's why you can't leave them, even a few of them, in power or anywhere near power, because you just can't trust them. I mean, today they're putting out all this zealotry like, the hand of Allah is going to do this and going to do that and going to do this. And we're going after this. A South Korean ship also took a hit. And they're going after UAE. There's a chance that UAE might actually get involved and do a declaration of war. So there's a lot of stuff going on out here that's really rattling the cages. And I give President Trump a lot of courage for staying steadfast, staying clear, and also saying his objective is world freedom, America's freedom, but world's freedom. This may not have been the popular thing to do with gas prices in a midterm election year, but if things can turn around pretty quickly, and he can get rid of a terrorist regime, the biggest state sponsor in the world of terrorism, then I think he'll be awfully popular. That's my feeling.
The Marine Toys for Tots foster care program is bringing hope to children who need it most. Every 2 minutes, a child enters foster care, often with only a small bag of belongings. More than 400,000 children face trauma and uncertainty, many before age 8. This May, during Foster Care Awareness Month, Toys for Tots is creating Room for Joy. In 2025, nearly 375,000 children received comfort through toys, books, and essentials, reminding them they are not alone. Donate now and change a child's life.